finally you give Tokorat Lomi. Askim Lomi Golo, Minister of State on Enterprise. Mr. Speaker, in 2014, Kokopo was declared as a fourth city law, Papua New Guinea. In doing so, one big pla construction, a design been come up. The big pla sewage project, the Kokopo city, which cost him almost 88 million. And the construction start law March 2016 and law 2019. The construction involving four parties, which is the provincial government, design, a contractor, and the major contractor, GRA, which is Diesel Restoration Authority. Enough this time, Mr. Speaker. This project has been complete, and I take this time to thank the former government, Law Big Pla Construction, only been working, Law is Newbiton. But in doing so, however, this project may stop sleep idle or same after almost 4 years, Mr. Speaker. I don't know for what reason Water PNG step in, law connecting Eagle residents. Even the pond itself, it's an ISO. So as you go to Balus, you put down the tokwa by looking pond, busa may come up. So simple question from me to you, Mr. Speaker, to the minister responsible. Is Water PNG going to connect this sewage project to the residents of Kokopo and continue with operations, or by NOGAT? Is it because in the initial stages, although been including all in the design and construction of the project? And simple question from me to you, Mr. Speaker, Color Minister. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to thank the member for Kokopo for this question. As the good member for Kokopo himself said, it is true that at the initial stages, at the design, planning, and construction stages, Water PNG Limited was not involved and was not a party to this contract. The contract was negotiated between the National Department of National Planning, GRA, and the Eastern Region Provincial Government for an amount of 87.8 million kina. Unfortunately, this contract did not extend to the connection of the sewage systems to households as well as business houses. Water PNG is not at this stage even sure whether the required environmental permits were issued for this project. It was only after the project was said to have been completed that Water PNG was then invited to come in. By that time, most of the work that had been done and even incomplete could not be rectified. And so, although Water PNG does have a presence in Kokopo town as well as Rabaul, in relation to this particular sewage project, Water PNG was not involved in any stage of this project. And so, Water PNG now, Mr. Speaker, at this stage is reviewing. It has already engaged an independent consulting engineer to review the work that was carried out by the contractor. Findings have now been brought to Water PNG, Mr. Speaker, and Water PNG is actually looking at them. As we all know, the issue of connection to the households and business house requires an additional contract. We have this system that is there. The contractor has built water reticulation systems, sludge tanks, pumps, the whole works, but it is still yet to be connected to the customer. So, Mr. Speaker, to cut a long story short, Water PNG has now been allowed to take over this project, and it has already engaged engineers to conduct the review. The report is now before Water PNG. We are now looking at funding it. So I can assure the good member for Kokopo that although it was not involved at the initial stages, Water PNG, being a responsible company, will do what it is required to ensure that the sewage system is then connected to the households and the business house. So, Mr. Speaker, I can assure once again that Water PNG is looking at it, and hopefully within the next couple of months, Water PNG should be able to work out the costings and then, unfortunately, engage a contractor to work on the connection systems. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.